Welcome to Fourth and Forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network. Join hosts Dan, Richie, and TD as they break down the latest news and storylines across the NFL, featuring game predictions, breakdowns, heated debates, live Patreon callers, and everything in between. Catch Fourth and Forever every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Yo!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Fourth and Forever, man. Thursday, October 23rd. Obviously, it is your go-to midday NFL show on the internet, and we are going to be diving into the Week 8 matchups, of course, beginning with the Thursday night football showdown between the struggling LA Chargers and the J.J. McCarthy-less Minnesota Vikings, and much, much more. Let's go around the table, see how everyone is feeling this beautiful afternoon. TD, what's up, man?
Great stuff, man. And by the way, when we get started, I have a little impromptu target that I would like to discuss for about 3 minutes if we can.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here on Fourth and Forever. Thank you for everybody tuning in right now. Make sure you hit that like button as usual. Let's have a great show.
That's what I'm talking about. Richie, what up, man? How you doing?
I'm living high, man. It's orange and blue skies out this morning. You know, I finally got to taste victory last night from my New York Knicks, and it was beautiful. Basketball's back, and it's sad that the news right now around the New York City world is that the Knicks got to win before the Jets, and that's sad. That is really sad, but I'm feeling great. I'm not going to take this winning feeling for granted. A winning team feels good. Jets, you're next, baby. Go get me a win Sunday. But it's good to be here on Fourth and Forever with you guys. Shout out to the chat. Hit the thumbs up button. There's a lot of NFL stuff that we need to break down in this. And I got an impromptu as well, and I'm curious if it's the same one as TD.
It's funny because I have an impromptu on the top of my head as well, but we'll start off with TD.
What if it's all the same?
Yeah, it's
more than
probably
likely
not.
will be the same. TD, what do you got, man? Talk to us.
Richie, I wanted to talk about the Buffalo Bills for a second.
Okay, so that was not mine, but
yeah, I'm sure it wasn't.
It wasn't mine either.
Richie, you weren't here for the AFC East round.
Yeah, how was it last night? Shout out to Matthew for filling in.
It was great. We had a good time, and a lot of people that watch Fourth and Forever, they're not apprised to it, so make sure you go check that out. But we had a conversation last night. I had said that Buffalo, this is a trap game, and that they may lose. And Dan Mitchell swore up and down there's no way they lose, X, Y, and Z. But the reason why I wanted to make this an impromptu topic, because I woke up this morning and I have famous TikTokers basically saying that this game is going to be a conspiracy. The refs that's officiating the game, they're out to get Buffalo. They want them to lose 3 in a row. And I just don't understand where that came from. And I'm trying to understand, for a game that's supposed to guaranteed be a win, now we have famous. I mean, if it don't get no famous, then the TikToker I was watching basically saying they're going to be set up. Have you ever checked out Dan Mitchell's TikTok? If you haven't, ladies and gentlemen, go follow him. It's amazing. But the truth is on the TikTok, okay? The truthful takes are on the TikTok.
Oh, man, for all the people calling me clickbait Dan Mitchell, you get baited every single video, don't you, fool? All right? So maybe look yourself in the mirror. Look yourself in the mirror, ladies and gentlemen, because you get baited every single time. Come on. Anyway. Richie, thoughts on what TD just said, because that question was directed to you.
Yeah.
And I will unpack.
So you're basically saying the Browns are going to win, TD, and Dan's giving it no chance?
Well, not the Browns. I think
we're talking about the Bills and the Carolina Panthers. I said that there's no way that the Bills are going to lose against the Carolina Panthers.
I got confused. Aren't the Browns facing off against
Patriots?
That's why I got confused there. But hey, bro, first of all, the Buffalo Bills are on a 2-game losing streak, and they had a week off, and we don't know what version of they're going to be. We really don't. And this is a big game for Buffalo, bro, because the Patriots, if the Bills lose this game and the Patriots win, all of a sudden we're going to look up and the Patriots are running away with this thing, which is wild, man. It really does come to alarm you that this AFC East division has been the same the last 5 years, and it could be up for grabs right now because of not the Jets and the Dolphins, unfortunately, the Patriots. But I feel like the Carolina Panthers are very good at home. And there's a lot of factors that TD's laid out there, and Dan making those rage baity TikToks, which you absolutely love to see. But don't sleep on the Panthers, dude. They got a defense. They got weapons. I mean, the Jets low-key should have beat them if they had a competent offense. But
they got refs according to Dan too,
and they got refs, which is
they do have refs, yeah. And so they do have refs.
You gotta go with an angle on TikTok. That's the TikTok angle, the refs. I mean, we're not gonna bring that here, are we? The refs talk.
Oh man, it was a whole presentation.
So what I like to do is I really like
I didn't
to
see
take
it, TD. I gotta see it.
You gotta go see it, Richie. A whole
listen, bro. Like we can go on ahead and actually. So we.
Well,
can
I
go
also
on
just
ahead and
turned
play it right now.
I also just opened up Instagram and I see the Jets are trading Quinnen Williams. Where do you see this?
Connor Hughes. It's Connor Hughes, man. Listen, I know. Come on, man. I can't be more up to date with the Jets trending news without me, dude. You know what I mean? And look, he is completely out of the Buffalo Bills pay structure. I didn't phrase it for that. I only give you about a click. All right, listen, I only give rage bait once a week. All right. I post 5 times a day and sometimes I sprinkle in a little rage bait. You know what I mean? That was not a rage bait video. However, the video in question is this bad boy right here. All right. And shout out to RotoWire, by the way, guys. If you are looking to really dive into your player prop parlays, look into RotoWire's deep data analysis for you to be able to put together intelligent parlays by itself. Signing up using our code RTS, you are going to be afforded 15% off the second that you sign up, man. They give you locks, overs, and unders each and every single week. Go on ahead and take full advantage of it. As you know, we work with Sleeper. It tells you everything to take advantage of, more and or less. It's been helping me absolutely clean house. So remember that. Shout out to our good friends RotoWire for being a proud partner of this show. And then let's take a gander at this TikTok that our good friend TD Finstock had to say. All right, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vegas and the NFL wants the Buffalo Bills to lose 3 straight games. My buddy Kevin, co-host of the Bills Roundtable, texted me late last night and pointed me to his most recent tweet. And it sounds like that the Buffalo Bills will be having Craig Rolstad officiating the game in Carolina on Sunday. He was the officiant for the Panthers' 30-0 home win versus the Falcons. He's called holding 16 times this year in only 7 weeks. He called Kansas City for 0 penalties 2 weeks ago. And home teams are 5-2 with him this season. Boy, Josh Allen is 3-5. To make it even more frustrating, Kevin listed all of the games where Rolstad was the head officiant. He listed games with Allen versus Houston. That was last year. I think all of us remember that game. The 2019 New England loss, where he had 3 picks. Allen had a concussion, lost. The Hal Murray, who remembers that absolute nightmare? And the Bills' overtime loss versus Minnesota. And how about the Rams' road game last year, where the offense looked great, but we lost? And this comes at the worst possible time because the Buffalo Bills for the past 3 games have been one of the most undisciplined squads in the NFL. All I'm saying is there is no excuse. You better go out there and play clean, complementary football. I know Carolina presents its own set of challenges, but for the love of God, do not shoot yourself in the foot. Sound off in the comments.
Wow.
You better call William Matar. Anyway.
That's some deep research with like
dude,
a
listen,
lot
I
of...
go into it, man. Listen, I'm a storyteller on here, and this guy's delusional Daniels at it again. Listen, dude, you think Zach Wilson is a credible quarterback in this league? Why do you put 3 exclamation points after every single submission you put into this live chat? Relax on the exclamation points, fool. Tone your voice down, dog. Like, tone your voice down. Chill with the exclamation points. Good God. Anyway.
Oh, I love when Dan explodes on one individual at a chat. It happens like once every 2 weeks, I say.
Yeah. Dude, listen, I swear to God, he's a bot, right? Like, he automatically has 3 exclamation points. That's what it is. But
LMAO.
LMAO, dude. Hey. Yeah. Chill with the exclamation points, fool.
You realize, Dan, you saying that opens up a floodgate of them doing exactly what you
with the exclamation points, fool. All right. No, like, we might as well just hop into this game since obviously this is where the trajectory is going. I see everyone freaking out with the exclamation points in here. You better have chill on that, brother. I'm gonna be handing out timeouts right now, boys. I'm gonna be handing out timeouts.
Oh man.
Exclamation points is getting Dan's blood pressure up.
All right. Anyway, so we're gonna look into the Buffalo Bills game. Why I made that video was because I saw it as a perfect storm, where for the past 2 games, the Buffalo Bills have been struggling in the self-inflicted wound department. Nearly 1 full football field of yards that had to be made up from based off of these penalties. And 9 times out of 10, there are refs that are bad at their job. But for the most part, when you look at the diversity of officiating crews, it's more particularly refs that are not prone to swallowing the whistle. And there's refs that don't let anything slide at all. Like anything slide at all. And that's the type of guy. So why I made that video is that I would very much like for this Buffalo Bills team to get back to their clean football ways in which that we experienced through the first 3 weeks of the season. I'm optimistic that that's the case. As far as the Bills and the Panthers lineup, like I said, I think that as far as how the Carolina Panthers defense is built, I think that Buffalo has the offensive line to dominate. They provide 75% of the time a clean pocket for a QB. This is a far cry comparison to what we saw against Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. So based off of what I know from this team, how they have been built, how they succeed, how they have succeeded in the past, this is a perfect matchup for the Buffalo Bills offense to get back to their 30 points. And as far as run defense is concerned, look, I can only hold my breath. One thing that's optimistic as far as all of the explosive runs that Buffalo has let up, more than 75% of them have been in the first half. The Buffalo Bills have been an actually good second half defense throughout the past 2 weeks and all season. So sometimes the best attack, I'm completely acknowledging that Dowdle and Hubbard are going to have a good game against this defense. But sometimes the best thing you can do for your defense is to get back to competent offense. And as far as winning a shootout with Josh Allen when he's on, good luck. How you stop the Carolina Panthers from running the football down your throat is to go on ahead and just literally get into a shootout with them and get an early lead, big point differential. And I am confident that this team wins 35-17 on Sunday.
All right. Regardless of the refs, none of that matters, right?
Nope.
No. We just need to play disciplined football. And because he's going to call penalties. He's going to call penalties. Not once did I say that that's going to be the reason why we ended up losing. It's just the children that have 15-second attention spans and leave a comment and then scroll off and log back on Fortnite. If they were to watch the entire video, they would understand that was the overall synopsis of what I was trying to say. I'm a storyteller, fool. And there's always a plot twist at the end of my content, all right? So pay attention, kids. Pay attention.
So if the Buffalo Bills lose this game and they get called for 8 penalties or more, are Bills fans going to roll with this conspiracy theory even more?
They will. I won't. And so I'll just be pissed off at my team for not being able to play disciplined football.
That's how it should be. It's really crazy, man. The Bills fan base after that loss to the Patriots have really shocked me in terms of coping with losing the way that they are. It's only 2. I mean, it's not like you're a losing team. Just these last few games, listen, trust me, I can put my hand up. Accepting defeat is a big part of this, of being a fan. And I'm not saying that your defeats, it doesn't matter that I'm a Jets fan, obviously, but your acceptance to defeat sometimes, you can't blame an external force. Maybe it just is the Bills got to play better and be more disciplined, play football better. It's not those conspiracy refs that's doing all these things. But hey, we shall see. So
for sure,
I think. What do you say, TD?
What I was saying for sure. But hey, man, Dan, I will say this: if y'all lose this game, you'll probably end up third in the division before the season's over.
All right, let's move along. I got an impromptu.
We said Dan got all the head just to have no brain at all. I scored 167 on the LSAT, and you're 15 and read a 3rd grade reading level, fool. Hell you talking about? Anyway, go ahead. Impromptu. Go ahead.
All right. It is an impromptu topic that is not related to the NFL, but could be. I don't know if you guys saw the news about what's going on in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with basketball. Dan, did you know what I'm bringing up right now?
No.
No, I do not.
This is going to get your gears turning. This story is unbelievable. And the reason why I bring this up is because I really do wonder if this is going to all of a sudden happen in the NFL.
Oh, so they're checking everybody.
Oh, yeah. This is the beginning of something. The NBA, we woke up this morning and the FBI has arrested a current NBA player, Terry Rozier, and a current NBA coach, Chauncey Billups, for being involved in illegal gambling and money laundering with potential, like, I believe, mafia, like illegal stuff, whatever. I don't know the exact details. But all of a sudden, an active head coach and an active player is getting arrested for basically manipulating the sport. And Terry Rozier knows that everybody's betting his under. He tells everybody, I'm going to get injured. And then he gets cashed out. He gets sent over like 6 figures of cash. This is some real stuff that's happening. That's all of a sudden the FBI has been doing investigation for over years about this. And they just came down and made their 2 arrests. And this is just the beginning.
Thought they made 3 arrests.
3.
Yeah, it's one more person.
Well, there's 2 active people in the NBA they arrested. At least.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm referring to.
It was an ex-player.
Yeah, and an ex-player. So I wonder, this is like stealing the headlines of all like sports talk right now. Could this, and I'll kick this off the UTD first, is this something that the NFL world should be opening their eyes over at all or no?
Absolutely terrifying. I know that the attention has been with the NBA, but this wasn't the first one. Remember the defrauding with Big Baby Davis and all those guys a few years ago? There are loopholes in this sports and ways you can manipulate it and make financial gain. The NFL is even easier, but it's just a matter of if anybody's doing something wrong. But yes, this is going to have huge implications. The FBI is watching now. So what that means, in my opinion, based off of what I know, they could very well start monitoring the finances, taxes, and everything of every player, and start to see if there's something, because we got sports gambling now that's taking hold low key. When you really think about it, it has gotten so massive over the last 10 years and grown to a point that, yeah, the regulations are about to come in. The federal government will get involved and there will be checks and balances, and the NFL will have to account for them. And if I'm the NFL, I get ahead of this and already put things in place right now that's going to make people trust the product of betting and things of that nature, because this was bad. What Rozier did in those guys, that undermines everything when it comes to sports betting, man. And they out here showing these clips and everything of Rozier playing, and it's like, man, yeah, this ain't like he's out there doing stuff like it. You can, I don't want to, again, all of this is alleged because he hasn't been convicted, but you could just see that this is not good. And Rozier out there turning the ball over at will, missing shots, easy ones, and all kind of stuff. But in the NFL, you know, you don't want that. You don't want a player who's not making great money to start thinking about possibly impacting the game. And when you got a head coach being involved in it, yeah, the NFL better be careful and make sure that they send a message and expectations right away for coaches, players, and everybody in the league.
So, Dan, what's your immediate reaction when you're hearing this story for the first time?
So I'm not surprised, right? Like, we've seen this back in the early 1900s with the Black Sox scandal. For anyone that's a baseball fan, it was the Chicago White Sox team where like 8 out of the 9 starters were throwing games, or at least were signed up to throw a game from mafia ties, right? And like, what obviously had to do with some of the gambling back then. Now that sports gambling is around, if anybody doesn't believe that there could be a couple of bad apples in every single organization, then you're absolutely nuts. I wouldn't be surprised if some referees ultimately end up getting called out by the NBA as well, especially like when you can come in and like there's so much money when it comes into like these illegal books and everything along those lines, or even these like regular books. It's not crazy to believe. You can think that an organization by itself is inherently just or is inherently filled with ethics and morality. But if you're going to tell me that an organization with hundreds, thousands of players, right? hundreds and hundreds of officiants, like people in the front office, like there couldn't be at least one bad apple, then you're so naive, it's crazy. Like you are so naive, it's wild. I wouldn't be surprised if indeed that this is already going on in the NFL. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it comes to light. So it's kind of a necessary evil. Like I'm not really sure how anybody could be shocked that this has come to light. It's bound to happen, man. It is.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I wonder if we're going to get anything around the NFL one day, whether it's this season, next year, but definitely something I wanted to bring up because the sports world is talking about it, and we are a sports talk show here on Roundtable Sports. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button if you're not already. We're live on Fourth and Forever's Roundtable Sports is Fourth and Forever. Live every weekday. We got TD Finstock in the house, Dan Mitchell, and your boy Richie here live. TD's going to be the solo dolo tomorrow on the channel, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We got some more games to preview. Let's go into tonight's matchup. I don't know about you guys, but it's really boring. Like, I look at this. I look at this game. This is one of the worst Thursday night matchups, I think, where I'm not as interested to, like, watch in a while. You know what I mean? Usually Thursday night's been pretty good recently, I would say. Well,
unfortunately, it is our job, so we're going to have to watch it. Now,
I'll
be watching this grueling matchup of two teams. One that I think is really flirting with the fraud title, okay? And then the Minnesota Vikings, which have really been underwhelming so far this year. So with the LA Chargers, last time I checked, Joe Alt is still questionable to play. I think it's more realistic for the following game on a short week, as I'm sure he's a pretty big piece to their overall success. I think his absence as of late has been a great scale from that. It's not like that they have home field advantage either. And so we always talk about how most of the away team fans always end up completely, dominating SoFi Stadium down in Los Angeles. I'm concerned about that offensive line, right? And while we can laugh at Carson Wentz at his expense, that Brian Flores defense, that aggressive defense is still going to be there. And you're looking at Justin Herbert, who's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL right now. He's experiencing the most pressure. He misses Joe Alt terribly. I think that this is a recipe for disaster. He better hope that Ladd McConkey can go on ahead and get open quick, like scheme out a bunch of guys open as fast as humanly possible, like start running a hell of a lot more motion than they already do. Because if not, like Herbert is going to be running for his life most of the evening. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings to win this one. Once Joe Alt gets back, I think my overall thought process of the Chargers is going to change. And at the trade deadline, I sincerely hope that they go, oh, he's back.
Yeah, 8:30 this morning, Ian Rappaport said that he's expected to play, but it's still a game time decision, but he's expected to play.
Expected to play, still a game time decision. I wonder how effective he's going to be. I still anticipate Herbert's going to be experiencing quite a bit of pressure on his end. I'm still going with the Minnesota Vikings. And then hopefully once the trade deadline gets around, I hope that they go out and they try and buy out a wide receiver. I think that's exactly where they're going to go. TD, thoughts on this?
Yeah, I wouldn't play Joe Alt. I would just let him rest one more week. That way you remove any doubt of trying to rush it back. He is a vital piece, but I think that the Chargers, if the Chargers are as good as they need to be, they should be able to beat the Minnesota Vikings without Joe Alt, regardless of the O-line woes. But he's going to be back, I believe, tonight, and I got the Chargers winning this game. I have the offense for the Chargers struggling because Brian Flores defense, but the Vikings also have to score. And they haven't been doing very well at all on the offensive side of the football, and that's their biggest concern. And the defense can only hold but so long, keeping them in every game, but you need help from the offense. And then is Wentz turning the ball over and those type of things. So I got the Chargers in this game. And they'll go 5-3. And that's huge because I think that they will go after a wide receiver at the break before the deadline, and they may bring in an additional offensive line piece to help as well. And then I think this team will be right back on track playing the type of ball that they want to play. But my biggest thing take away from the Chargers, though, that we need to recognize, through all the turmoil, they're 4-3. teams that go through what they go through are 1-6 and 2-5 and stuff like that right now. They're 4-3 and potentially 5-3 after tonight if they win. So that's a huge win for the Chargers. So we'll see. We'll let it play out. But Minnesota, this is actually a must win. They fall behind here. I don't think there's any recovering. Minnesota got to figure out a way to get a win tonight. They really do. They have to figure out a way. This is like a must win for both teams, if you ask me, because this is the vital part of both teams' season that can go south or north, and they got to play it out tonight. I think this is actually a better game than it may come across. This is a lot of implications in this one.
A lot of implications on this one. Richie, who you taking?
Yeah, it's hard. I feel like the Vikings are going to shock the world, and Carson Wentz is going to have one of those games that no one sees coming. That's kind of how I'm feeling. Like Carson Wentz is a veteran that can look really bad, can look decent, and then look really good out of nowhere. And I feel like on prime time, the stars are aligned for a Vikings win. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. Nice. I think that they're the underdogs, and I think that I just really love and appreciate and trust Kevin O'Connell so much. I think he's such a great head coach. He gets this team playing really good football. They play with a different energy out there, a confidence. Another one of those guys that it feels like whatever quarterback goes in there, he just knows how to get the most out of them. Give me the Vikings in an upset in this game.
Interesting.
Now, I want to transition to the next topic of the show, which is going to be Roundtable Sports just released their most recent top 10 rankings. And I wanted to get everybody's thoughts in the chat right now. We just put the link in the top of the description, top of the chat. Click that link, folks. It will take you directly to our website, roundtablesports.net, and that will give you access to read the full article of the top 10 teams posted by our great intern, Justin, who was with us in the Buffalo event and came with me to the LA event. So make sure you guys go check it out. It's a fluid list. He comes out with it every single week. So let's get into it. Let's see what he has in store. Who do you guys think he has as the first seed? If you didn't already see it.
Colts.
Neither are his number one.
Lions.
Lions it is.
Nice.
The Detroit Lions comes in as the number one seed on the Roundtable Sports list. Chat, do you agree or not? His reasoning is listed there if you wanted to read it. And he breaks it down pretty. He always convinces you. You see, you know what I mean? That's what I give Justin credit for.
He's good at what he does.
Who's at number two?
Probably the Colts now.
The Colts at 6-2 come in at number two with the league leading 6-1 record and a plus 92 point differential. Wow. That's crazy. The Indianapolis Colts, the second best team in the entire NFL, according to us.
And at this point, like, we shouldn't be upset.
Yeah, not at all.
At this point, like, we shouldn't be.
Are the Indianapolis Colts a better football team than the Buffalo Bills?
Yes, at this point.
Yes.
I mean, and I'm not knocking them. At this point, you have to do that.
So how I look at it, and like, while I feel confident about my Buffalo Bills team, looking at the Colts, is that when you look at their like offensive DNA, they basically have the exact same makeup of how Buffalo has built their offense. Solid offensive line, very good running back, some good tight end play, and a quarterback that does not make mistakes, right? Like, he takes care of the football. Yeah. That is a recipe that has continuously been successful in the NFL, which has been proven by the Chiefs for year in and year out, which is proven by the Buffalo Bills last year, by being able to run an offense efficiently without the most star-studded wide receiving room. Some people might give more respect to Pittman. I think he is a possession receiver, right? Same thing with A.D. Mitchell. He's a second-year guy. Cool. Alec Pierce, cool. So why they're so good is, number one, high-quality defensive play. And then number two, you have a quarterback that is making the right decisions and making the big-time throws when needed, but still focused exclusively on the run game. And this is a recipe for success.
All right. So the Colts are your number two seed. The Bucks coming at number 3.
Interesting. I ain't mad at it. Well, the Chiefs got to be in the top 5, right?
I feel like
Did Baker Mayfield's MVP chances fall off a cliff?
So with PFF is like having them as the number 1 team in the NFL. And I suppose I can get it based off of their performance as of late. But
Chiefs are at 4.
Yeah, I think 4 is fair.
4, okay, that makes sense.
I feel like 4 is fair. Yeah, I really do. I'm not upset about that one at all.
Eagles
coming at 5. That makes sense.
Philadelphia Eagles 5-2, big bounce back. The Green Bay Packers at 6.
Dan hates it.
I got Patriots at 6, but Green Bay, that's fine because I had them like 7. Patriots, yeah. Okay.
Oh, Justin, you killed me.
Wow,
you're killing me. You killing me,
Dan.
dude.
What do you mean? You were low key a Patriots fan all offseason. I hate them.
I got Buffalo at 10. So
I think they're a good team. I think they're a good team.
Buffalo at 10, you know?
Yeah, and they'll probably be out of that after this week.
Do you think Buffalo's on this list?
I got Seattle ahead of Buffalo. Okay. I mean, I ain't mad at it being 8. I mean, that's fine. I got Seattle ahead of Buffalo.
I don't hate it. Yeah, I don't hate it.
Dan's like, all right, Justin, you made up for it.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
I'm shocked you don't have the 49ers up there with their
Seattle's at 9.
Winning.
Seattle is
yep. Okay.
Isn't that's the first team in the NFC West? He has them over the Rams or the Niners.
Yeah.
Seattle's been looking good, man.
I'm assuming the next team will be an NFC West team. Yep. There's the Niners.
49ers. Okay, that makes sense.
San Francisco 49ers at 10.
This is a good list.
Do you guys agree with the list?
Yeah, 1 through 10. I actually like it. I'm a one off here and there for me, but yeah, this is good.
And the Packers are a little high for me.
The Bills are a little high for me.
So, guys, go check us out on Instagram. Support us on all social medias. We posted it. Go check out the website as well. I just put the link to this Instagram post if you guys want to support Roundtable Sports outside of just YouTube. You want to help us out on all socials. Instagram, we're on Twitter. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook as well. We're on Twitch. We are on our own website. So shameless plug there. But if you guys want to help out Roundtable Sports to really build a legit network, go check it out. Great graphic there of the top 10. So that's the top 10 segment.
That's the top 10 segment, man. Dude, shout out to Justin for putting together, once again, a beautiful top 10. Let's go ahead and get back into some of these games, folks. As you know, TD Finns Talk is going to be running a solo episode tomorrow on the 4th and Forever edition. But we have a couple of 1 o'clock games I think that would be intriguing to discuss. One of which is the return of Lamar Jackson, allegedly. Okay. He was a limited participant, I believe, yesterday. I'm going to double check and see if he's good to go today as far as practice. But Baltimore is welcoming the red hot Chicago Bears, who have now won 4 straight, I believe. Have won 4 straight. Things are finally starting to click for this team. And by the way, this team leads the league in takeaways. Like, this defense is taking the damn football away, and they're really giving Caleb Williams a lot of extra opportunities. That's the big storyline with this D, say that you were to ask me. And Ravens are in complete desperation mode. And it's hard to predict this game because we don't know if Lamar is going to be a full go, number one. And then even if he does go, will he be anywhere near close 100%? Richie, thoughts on this one? If Lamar is playing, are you picking the Baltimore Ravens to win?
Yes.
Mods.
Oh, God.
Please block this kid and email his teacher. Okay. Please email his teacher. He should be paying attention to his teacher's read aloud of Baby Shark and visits the United Kingdom. All right. He's not paying attention. There's going to be a pop quiz on that later this week. Please block this kid. For the love of all that is holy. Thank you so much.
Did the mods do it?
I hope they did.
Yeah, block.
All right. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a big game. You got the Chicago Bears that are pretty hot right now. Do you know who's a slept on running back in the league right now? It's DeAndre Swift over there in Chicago. He,
I know.
I got him in fantasy football in one of my leagues, so I've been definitely riding that wave. I think that the run game with that offense is pivotal for Ben Johnson's offense to succeed and Caleb Williams to get really confident. You look at what the Lions do so well and how that offense was so dynamic with Ben Johnson. It was running the football at a high rate to set up the play action pass. And now they got DeAndre Swift running that the way he does, his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. I really think that this offense is going to be able to pick apart this Baltimore Ravens defense. So it's not going to be easy. The only chance the Ravens got, if Lamar Jackson puts the team on his back, Derrick Henry has a game, Zay Flowers, like they got an offense, dude. Like the Ravens have a really good offense, but they've been missing their quarterback. And now that he's back, I expect the Ravens to get a big win. I'm going to take the Ravens at home in this game. I think that it's going to be a one of those shootouts. I think it's going to be like a 34-31 type of matchup. Baltimore gets the job done. Defense still looks poor, but they get the job done with their offense.
Damn, man. Look at that. The Baltimore Ravens begin their 10-game winning streak, man. I feel it. All right, TD, what do you got?
Yeah, they very well could. Lamar is back, by the way. He was out there on the practice field today, doing a lot more. They got Chicago, obviously. This will be a good game because they need a get-right game, and Chicago's been playing good football as of late as well. But you obviously see the crazy thing is you're going to go with the Baltimore Ravens regardless of how bad they've been playing because they got a guy like Lamar, and he's coming back. But they can go on a run. When you really look at their schedule, I don't even know how they've gotten so easy of a schedule. Like the Ravens are always up there. But when you look at it, the Bears, they should be the better team. The Dolphins, obviously. The Vikings, good defense, but they should be the better team right now. Then the Browns, obvious better team. The Jets, the Bengals.
Yeah, what about
that's like 7 games in a row where they should be the favorite. 7 games in a row.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that right there where the Baltimore Ravens, if they rattle off those 7 wins, they'd be 8-5. 8-5, just like that, with literally 4 games left. And then they just really need to go probably 2-2 or 3-1 at that point where things get a little bit more tighter with the competition. So this is where they have to actually make their run. And I believe they will. I think they'll start rattling off those victories, and you probably will see an 8-5 Baltimore Ravens team and fighting to still get in the playoffs before they play Pittsburgh in a big game to determine if they're going to go 9-5 or 8-6.
So would you call the Ravens a good team?
Their defense hasn't played well this year, so the answer to that is no as of right now. But if they take care of business like they should the next 7 weeks and they win all those games, I'm going to be honest with you, Dan. I'm still not going to call them a good team. But if they beat Pittsburgh 8 weeks from now, after winning 7 in a row, I can put them right back in that category. Hiccup in the road, and now they're right back where they need to be. Because even after that game, they got the Bengals again. And it gets tough on the back end because the last 4 games, Bengals, Patriots, Green Bay, Steelers again. It's all doable for them, but it is a little bit tougher on the back end. So we'll find out. It'll be interesting.
Man, those Baltimore Ravens, can they go on a damn run? We will find out, man. We will find out. Let's move on to another 1 o'clock matchup. San Francisco 49ers and the Houston Texans. From what I understand, it sounds like Mac Jones is still going to be the quarterback for this team on Sunday. I think last I've heard from Brock Purdy is that the coaching staff is saying that he's super close. So I'm assuming they're probably going to shelf him for one more game until his ultimate return. And they're facing off against the Houston Texans, who are currently 2-4, but ironically enough, have one of the best defenses in the NFL in many advanced metrics, in EPA and DVOA. It's just that offense is having a difficult time into being able to achieve consistency. TD, thoughts? Can the Houston Texans possibly turn it around against this San Francisco 49ers squad at home?
Ooh, man, San Francisco, I'm gonna be honest. This is the team that's low-key playing, solid football, regardless of the injuries. They find ways to win. In Houston, they've been up and down. We lost any love for Houston early, but then they starting to slowly but surely get it back right now. This will be a good game. This is another game where it kind of tells you who the teams are. If Houston beats the 49ers, knowing that they play tough, they play well, they are always in every game, and they got a chance to win every game. If Houston can deliver that victory for the organization, I'm going to tell you now, the Houston Texans are on their way to be right there with the Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're turning it around. But vice versa, if the 49ers win this game against that good defense, man, that's scary because 49ers, they're going to be in the mix when it's all said and done. But I love this. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to watch this game because it's the same time as the game that the Dolphins have, but this is a good game to watch. It'll really be a good gauge. I like what Mac Jones has been doing with the team, but the 49ers have a quarterback-friendly type system. It's always been that way. And Mac Jones has some starter experience in this league, obviously, and he's just picking up where he left off, earning himself a potential job for next year and another team to be their starting quarterback. So I love it. CJ Stroud got to get out of that slump. He got to win games like this, and he got to play well. These are the ones that determine it, because if you don't play well in this one, yeah, that slump continues, and you're starting to make it a little bit more official. So big game. I can't wait to see what ends up happening so I can have better conclusions on how I view each team and these quarterbacks that are playing for them.
No problem at all. And with that, TD, I know you have somewhere to be, my friend. Best of luck. We'll see you
tomorrow. Y'all come through. We're going to chop it up.
You chop it up with TD. Rich, what do you got, man?
I got to ask you a question, Dan.
Go ahead.
Does Robert Saleh get a head coaching job next year?
He should. He's been playing very well. I think that.
And is he going to win? Is he going to be great? Because that's what it feels like. Of course.
I think that
I'm not going to crash out here. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But all jokes aside, man.
So I do think that he is a serious candidate, and I do think that teams will want to interview him.
Yeah, I mean, like, he could be either one of those cases that he's just a really good coordinator, never going to be a good head coach, or he was just with the New York Jets, and the Jets just completely ruin everybody. Look at Todd Bowles right now. He was given his opportunity after the Jets, and look what he's doing. But man, it's just really, he really does show me so much. That defense, that's the identity, that's the backbone. And the Niners are even operating. I read something recently that they're operating that this is a one and done for Saleh, that they're looking for their defensive coordinator next year because they're expected him to get a head coaching job. I really am high on the Niners, man. I am. I think they're led by their defense. Mac Jones is a quarterback they can win with. The Texans have given me nothing. Oh, and by the way, the two games that CJ Stroud versus the Jets was Saleh's defense, dude. Like, Saleh created the blueprint of CJ Stroud that the entire NFL is replicating. Say goodbye to CJ Stroud this game. Take the under on everything for him. He's about to get destroyed at home and be embarrassed by Robert Saleh. So give me the Niners.
So the hate that you have for CJ Stroud
is that hate, or is that just like objectively facts have told you?
Objective. Like you were right. Like when everyone was hopping on the bandwagon.
I'm not trying to be hateful with that.
Like you stood pat and you said, look, like this guy's a low key bum.
Right? Yeah, I mean, I have nothing against CJ Stroud. There's no rival with the Jets Texans. There's nothing I have anything bad about CJ. It came from me just evaluating him as a quarterback. I was never high on him. I would never say I hated him personally, but seeing Saleh going up against him, it reminds me of when Jeff Ulbrich went up against the Bills. Like Jeff Ulbrich and that defense with Saleh, there's certain quarterbacks they know how to shut down, and that's the one good thing the Jets had with Saleh and Ulbrich was a defense that could neutralize great quarterbacks. They did the same thing against Patrick Mahomes in that game against the Chiefs. Like, they know how to neutralize. They beat the Eagles. Like, Saleh has that scheme that you can get in the head of quarterbacks like CJ Stroud. So I expect the Niners to win and the Texans offense to struggle. That's all.
Somebody just said that Saleh is about to go to the Dolphins.
Oh my God. He probably would, honestly. And suck. It's like Adam Gase flipped around, though.
Dude. So I'm trying to think of like favorable head coaching vacancies. And I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of like a super popular coordinator and like what jobs I would be eyeing that like would be interesting.
I mean, what in the Titans? I could see this Salah go to the Titans.
Yeah.
Defensive minded. Mike Vrabel was defensive minded. But I think there's the defensive minded coaches are not becoming favorable recently.
No, not at all. I mean, it's been a lot of offensive minded head coaches representing in the Super Bowl as of late, right?
Yeah, I think that it's going to be interesting, man. I think that the Dolphins and the Titans, what other organizations do you think are going to have open coaching vacancies? And I guess this can go into the Jets because that's a team that has no wins, and people are saying Aaron Glenn's in the hot seat. What's your prediction, Dan? Will Aaron Glenn get fired? It would be a one and done.
No, I don't think so. I think that he has one more year. And I think he like realistically has 3 as long as he ends up like being close or flirting with 500 next year. Right. Cincinnati, I think, is a sleeper. Like Zach Taylor, in my opinion, has been overstaying his welcome. Right. And while I don't particularly think that it's all his fault, I think it's more front office decisions. I think that if Cincinnati does not make the playoffs with or without Joe Burrow, because so I think you need a fall guy at some point. And so I think Zach Taylor is a sleeper.
I feel like, it's just tough because he's losing his quarterback. But what if well, obviously he won't get fired if this happens, but the Bengals got the Jets this week. What if Joe Flacco keeps that ship alive for Joe Burrow to come back?
Yeah, well, then I think Zach Taylor will probably survive.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, there's a new fire with that team since Joe Flacco came in. That game last Thursday was epic, dude. And by the way, I didn't really get to talk about that game much with you because I did the solo show Friday. But it wasn't even just Joe Flacco, dude. There's a lot of defensive plays that Bengals team made that impressed me. Like, I was like, wow. Like, the Bengals are known to have a really bad defense. They had a lot of good defensive plays that I was very impressed with. Turned over the ball twice, making big plays on third down. That wasn't just Joe Flacco that won them the game. Of course, he's a big reason for it, but I was impressed with their defense. And that, I haven't even got to talk about this Jets-Bengals game because I wasn't there last night. But, like, who do you got winning that Jets-Bengals game? You're a Bengals hater. The Jets stink. So who you roll with?
Bengals winning. I have the Bengals winning. Yeah.
Damn it. I thought maybe you'd jump on. So you had Joe Flacco slinging it around and the Bengals beating the Jets.
Say that there's any chance of an upset, right? Like, say that there's any chance of an upset this week. And by upset, it's Browns Patriots. Is probably the biggest chance of an upset, I would say.
Wait a second. You got the Browns beating?
No, I said that if there was a upset this week, it would be that one.
Are you predicting it?
No, I'm just saying if there was an upset, then it would be the Browns versus the Patriots.
Come on.
Look, so when I look at the Cleveland Browns, they are 2-5. Okay. Stellar pass rush, solid run defense, although that New England really can't generate much of a rushing attack in general. And granted, they played the Dolphins last week, which is not really something to flex on. I can also look at the tape of how they ended up beating the Green Bay Packers. They have an excellent secondary. They take the football away. And they're coming off of an absolute heater. 4 sacks, had four total turnovers. I think that they have the secondary and the beef in the linebacker room to where they can make some plays on some of the receivers from New England side of things. I just have a feeling that regardless of who wins, neither team breaks 20 points.
All right. Well, I'm excited for that game. That is a hot take. I'm not going to lie. That is a hot take, but we shall see. The Browns are a pesky team that you never really know what is possible. All right, let's get to a quick Patreon caller who is in here right now, about to talk some ball with us, who is Dwayne. What up, Dwayne?
What's up, guys? Quick chat maintenance. No personal attacks. You guys, some of you guys are doing it and you know better. Number 2, no hiding people or ritual stuff as size 12 boot up somebody's butt. Just saying. Richie, I really wish you were on the AFC East show last night. Man, I
Why is
love
that?
how you bring honesty and respect to your game on these shows, and that's why I have so much respect for you. Dan, got to pull this one off big time, man. Big time as far as this game coming up. Let's get it done. DF forever, I'm out.
There he is.
That was like the nicest thing any one of our subscribers ever said to me. They missed me on the show last night instead of having a sigh of relief that I'm not there. Thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate that.
And so what size boot you wear, bro?
10 and a half.
Me too, dude. It's all right. Hey, it's all right, man. Me too, brother.
Hey, bro. Someone commented, thought I was like 5'1". He's like, damn, dude, you look short. What are you, 5'1"? I was like, no,
5'1". Show us some respect.
I'm like,
man,
what?
show us some respect. Little do you know, when I have my boots on, I'm 6 foot, fool. I'm 6 foot when I got my boots on. All right, and I'm always like, boots, baby. So
can
I
say I'm 6 foot even though I'm 5'10", 5'10 and a half? Like, is that possible, or am I gonna go?
Dude, listen. As a man, you're allowed to add an inch to one place or the other. You choose. All right.
Oh,
so
all right.
Well, there you go, brother.
There
5
you go.
foot, 6 foot with boots on, pal. Watch out. All right, man.
Dan, I want to get into a conversation with you about some things that I'm noticing you are posting on social media. The trade deadline is looming, and the New York Jets' names, they're everywhere. The Jets have a lot of players that are potentially open to be traded for. The Jets are winless. Makes sense why this is a conversation. And I just wanted to pick your brain about this. You've done a lot of research on the contracts of Garrett Wilson and Quinnen Williams. You saw the report from SNY's Connor Hughes that broke down there's a lot of players that the Jets are allowing teams to call them on. And you made a whole thing about Quinnen Williams. And let me just show the great people here exactly what I'm referring to. In case you missed it, make sure you follow Mr. Dan Mitchell himself on socials. He made a one that the Jets are trading Quinnen Williams, according to Dan Mitchell. The Jets are reportedly open to do it. So Dan says it's happening. So Dan, why don't you give us the latest that you're seeing about the Jets trading, starting off with Quinnen Williams? Do you think it's a possibility and the Jets will do it?
So I feel like anything is on the table, man. Like, you were in that first year of a brand new head coach. Like, you don't really know how he looks at this roster and whether or not that he truly has the personnel that he thinks can operate his scheme. He has acquired a roster with players he did not draft. He did not have a say in when he was experiencing these previous free agencies. So I really think anybody is on the table. With what Connor Hughes said is interesting. Sounds like, at least according to him, that Quinnen is not happy with the New York Jets right now. And when you look at what this would do to the New York Jets team, it's not all that bad as far as cap implications. If, for example, that the Jets were to walk away from Quinnen Williams, you would only be getting about $9.9 million in dead cap and $9.8 million in dead cap the following year. You would be able to avoid his $21 million cap hit in salary in 2026. So when you have a player like that in his prime, you know his value is going to go through the roof. According to Connor, it sounds like the Jets are looking for a second, right? I think a couple of front offices, say, for example, some of them are struggling with the run, best run defender in the damn NFL by a country mile. I think you could probably end up bullying them into a first-round pick, and depending, of course, on who is calling on behalf of it. So say that it was up to me, I would look at this Jets team, see that they're 0-7, see that they're 0-8, and just be like, you know what, man? I think that we need to let Aaron Glenn build this team the way that he envisions and the way that he wants this team to operate. It's tough to say. It could be all smoke and mirrors, but I genuinely believe that no player on the Jets is safe. And so I really think at the very least, like, you will be taking calls, like, from just about everybody.
Yeah, I think that is very true. The Jets are open for sale right now, as Connor Hughes listed here. Players like Breece Hall, Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald, Michael Carter II, Quinnen, and Quincy Williams is the names that are being brought up here. Now, Jermaine Johnson, he went out there. A quick little update on him. His name was being circled that the 49ers are interested in him. That's the Robert Saleh connection. He said this on X yesterday. What do you think this means, Dan? What do you think Jermaine Johnson means by this? He's not leaving, baby.
He's not
going anywhere. This
leaving.
fired me up as a Jets fan because I do not want to trade away Jermaine Johnson at all. Now, I do expect the Jets to make a trade. Now, I'm going to say something that not a lot of people are talking about, though, about the Jets at the trade deadline. Don't sleep on the Jets buying a player and not just selling. And when I say buying, I don't mean going after a superstar. The Jets are going to be looking for players to add to their team to build their foundation for the long haul, for more next year than anything. Cue up the Jarvis Brownlee Jr. trade they made for the Titans slot corner. He filled in and it has been playing really good football for the New York Jets. I feel like the Jets could be aggressive for guys like that are really looking to be part of a new regime, new culture. The Jets need their type of guys. You saw what he was able to do with the Jets this past week. He was the highest graded Jet. He's only 24 years old. So I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets are looking for additions, not just subtractions here. Now, when it comes to Breece Hall, if the Braylon Allen's injury, Dan, is bad, and if the Jets trade away Breece, we literally have nobody besides Isaiah Davis. When it comes to Breece, what's your thoughts on that? Are the Jets going to get rid of him? My take on it is simple. If the Jets don't view Breece as part of their long-term plans, they don't want to give him an extension this offseason because he's a free agent, or they don't want to franchise tag him, then you do trade him, get some type of value while you can instead of letting him walk out the door. And I'm expecting Breece to go somewhere else and ball. That's my expectation with that if he does leave.
He's going to be a Kansas City Chief in like 2 weeks, probably.
You think the Chiefs, where would be the Chiefs got Pacheco and Hunt, so
who are not very good.
And Breece would be better than both of them, 100%, and they would use him so well.
And so a significant upgrade. A significant upgrade at the
Breece
running back
is so
position.
good in the pass attack, too, that the Jets just don't know how to utilize his hands. He literally runs route and can catch like a wide receiver. Like, I'm not that's not me just saying that. Like, go watch what he can do. Breece can go up there, 50-50 ball, snag the rock. He's got natural hands that normal running backs don't have.
And so if you remember, dude, I was big on the proponent of Buffalo drafting Breece Hall a couple of years ago. And so while we were doing this show.
And I will say, though, Dan, after that ACL, he's not been the same, though. He was on a tear that rookie season. 6 games into his rookie year. Remember, the Jets were 5-2, and it was because of Breece Hall and Elijah Vera Tucker. The Jets lost both of them in the same game, and then they fell off the face of the earth, lost 7 games in a row, missed the playoffs. They were 7-4, by the way. I think Breece lost his explosiveness since that injury.
It's tough. And so I would like to see him in a change of scenery. But as far as where I think the Jets are as an organization, I think that they're not outright saying, hey, we're going to tank and we're not going to try and win these games. But I do think that they are really checked out as far as maintaining any sort of personnel. I don't think that they particularly care that with Braylon Allen being out and the fact that Isaiah Davis would be RB1 almost immediately, I think that is the direction that they are going into. It's probably going to hurt ticket sales, but like, how bad have ticket sales been in general for the New York Jets since they've started off with this 0-7 start? I think at this point, if he's not a part of the future, and so because he's a free agent next year, right?
Breece, free agent.
Yeah. Dude, come on. I think that it would be absolutely stupid if you have a player that you know has value, that a team would actually end up sending over some sort of draft compensation for. Take advantage of it, dude. Like, take advantage of it. Like, when you see these teams that are slightly below 500 and they have like a star that is on the final year of their contract hitting free agency, if you don't genuinely believe that you can turn things around and like be a playoff team, screw it, dude. Just go on ahead.
So let me play devil's advocate. What if there's an angle of the Jets like Brees and they feel like they can get a favorable contract with him, and because next year they're probably going to get a quarterback and they need a run game to support it. Would there be a world where the Jets go to Brees and say, hey, we want to keep you here. Here's a 2-year contract extension, or maybe Brees just wants the new change of scenery in general. Would the Jets be smart to try to keep Brees long-term and give him a contract extension? He's not lighting it up, so he's not going to demand for a big deal. Would the Jets be smart to try to keep Brees Hall? Because the Jets offense literally has nothing but Garrett Wilson and Brees. So without Brees, there's nothing.
Yeah, man. I still think you move on, right? And so because as you mentioned, once he came off of that ACL, has not looked the same. And in my opinion, I think he might have max like 2 to 3 years left in this league, like based off of how he's looked coming off of said injury. And there's going to be teams out there that find value in him. But realistically, say that I'm the GM of the New York Jets. And so I'm like, yeah, like we can keep Brees, man. Like once we figure out this quarterback situation, but like when are you going to figure out the quarterback situation?
We're going to try this offseason. Who knows if he's
successful?
successful.
Like you're going to try this offseason, but even if, for example, you find a rookie that is promising, right? Like you're going to have a shit ton of up and downs. And by the time that he's actually ready, like your new QB of the future, like by that point, like you're going to be 3 years into Brees Hall's contract. And he's probably even going to show more signs of regression by the time it gets toward the end of it. And boom, he has no trade value in general. So
yeah, I agree.
Feel like you just walk away from him.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely scenario with that. Now, there's 2 players on the Jets that I view as untradeable, but you had a video about one of them, which is Garrett Wilson. Are you hopping on
my TikToks, don't you, man?
Well, when they're about the Jets, man, we interact. Jets fans are as passionate, and they're out there on the internet.
Yeah.
So you made a whole thing about a potential trade that Garrett Wilson should be traded from the Jets to the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
You actually think, and I want you to answer this from the Jets' perspective, not the Bills, not anybody trying to get Garrett Wilson. Why would the Jets be smart trading Garrett Wilson right now?
So they wouldn't be smart.
Okay.
So to trade to the Buffalo Bills?
In general.
Trade to the Buffalo Bills?
No, in general trading, in general.
So again, if Woody Johnson really means what he said during his interview where he trusts Aaron Glenn, then I think you're going to want to give him an opportunity of being able to have a say in what this new look Jets team looks like. And how you do that is by building throughout the drafts. And granted, like this Jets team, for the most part, has had, at least on paper, good draft picks. Like y'all have had 3 years in a row by winning the drafts, right? So I think that if you're serious about finding a quarterback of the future, I really think that not only does your quarterback target need to be in the first round next year, I think you also need to have an insurance policy where you're going to be able to have a first round draft pick option in 2027 as well, in case that doesn't work out. From this point, I feel like the one thing that has really not been working for the Jets is having quality quarterback play, regardless of your supporting cast. And you need to sometimes take a look at your roster and say, all right, how can I accomplish this? Like, how can I make sure that one of these days we're going to find a QB of the future coming out of college? And that's by leveraging your good players on this roster already. We've seen Garrett Wilson, and I'm trying to spin this so it doesn't come off and like I'm talking down on your team. But like, guy has had well over 1,000 yards, regardless of any quarterback that has been under center. He is an elite wide receiver. He's doing his thing. And the thing that we always hear from Jets fans is that, like, oh my God, like Garrett Wilson, he's really going to be able to help this quarterback come into his own. I mean, has that worked yet? Right? Like, has that worked? Although he's putting up 1,000 yards each and every single season, is that translating into actual consistent offense? No, but he's still valuable. So I think, man, look, if he's on the table, hell yeah, dude. Because like you're gonna get a first round pick for him. Hell, I mean, you'll probably get a first round pick and a second round pick for him.
So my rebuttal to that is really simple. He is the guy the Jets need to have in order if we want a quarterback that's gonna develop. You're giving up the best player on the offense. A draft pick in 2027 in the first round is not going to replace Garrett Wilson. That talent.
No, not at all.
He's the best player on the team. And if the Jets are desperately looking for a quarterback and they just invested in him that for 6 years, Garrett Wilson, they have under a good contract, I think they would be buffoons. If the Jets traded Garrett Wilson because of the reasons you said, I would actually I don't know what I would do, because the draft picks are all there, and Garrett Wilson has proven that if you can give him that quarterback, he's going to be able to help that. If you trade away Garrett and Breece, we're literally starting at bare bones from scratch in terms of playmakers. Garrett Wilson is the only great thing, the gem of this organization. And if they get rid of that one gem, there literally is nothing. And there's no draft pick that's not just going to replace the player he is, but the human being Garrett Wilson is. It's very rare to have a dude and a character and a culture piece like Garrett Wilson. So I understand it from a business perspective, but just knowing Garrett and the value of having a number one receiver, trading him away from a business lens from the Jets just makes absolutely no sense. It makes sense from another team trying to get him for those exact reasons. But the Jets need to find their quarterback, and they're never going to what's the storyline going to be next year? We get a rookie and we draft a rookie, and then it's like, well, this quarterback has no weapons. He doesn't have a number one receiver. The Jets have been looking for a number one receiver since I've been a fan of this team consistently, and they finally got theirs. I think they would be an absolute disaster if they ever consider trading him, even if it's for a first and a second. There's no replacing that type of guy, that type of talent. And he's not a top 5 Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase type of guy. He's a top 10 wide receiver, in my opinion. He could be, but the Jets are looking for that quarterback, and the way you can find that quarterback is by giving him an elite weapon like Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
So that's the situation with the New York Jets. We appreciate you guys tuning in. The thumbs up button. The Jets are not trading Garrett Wilson, but they could be trading Quinnen. They could be trading Breece Hall. I don't think they're going to trade Jermaine. Sauce Gardner's also not getting traded. And I think Sauce is continuously being the most overrated player in the entire NFL. I've never seen a good football player being hated more than Sauce. But that's a conversation for another day. But hey, thank you for tuning in to this. Hit the subscribe button, baby. Wow, what a great job, Dan.
Oh, is that a clip?
Yeah.
That was a clip. Nice. We have Sergeant. Sergeant Moonshine. Gotcha, DF. Sergeant Moonshine was backstage, and then he dipped. It's all right. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Sleeper. Folks, you heard me discuss RotoWire a bit earlier in the episode, and we were talking about Sleeper Picks, the number one player prop platform on the market today. Signing up just gets you $20 the second that you sign up for all of your free parlay fantasies. All right. If you decide to put down a deposit, then they are matching at 100% all the way up to $100. Simply pick anywhere between 2 to 5 players, accurately predict them going above or below their projections, and you can see returns up to 1000x. Some of you are well into mock draft season, so at least have fun with football when it comes into cooking up some sweet parlays. Shout out to Sleeper for being a proud partner. Terms and conditions apply. Always play responsibly. Thank you.
Always bet responsibly. Big shout out to Sleeper, man. Fun making some bets over there as always. Huge shout out to them. Thank you for everybody for tuning in to another episode of Fourth and Forever here on Roundtable Sports. We love you guys. Enjoy Thursday Night Football. TD will get you guys tomorrow, all rock and loaded. And we'll see you over the weekend for our watch parties. We're out, folks. Appreciate you.
Peace.